to reach our destination, rather than a day. This haze storm is worse than most, so the streets should be mostly empty for another 2 days. Assuming nothing goes wrong, that will be just enough time to return to the outskirts after we see what we came to see. Once again, please keep your hood up. That cloak is the only thing keeping anyone who happens to look out their window from seeing your very unusual appearance. Not to mention the veil is preventing you from choking on the haze. I'm wearing a cloak and veil for the same reason. Anyone recognizing me would also be the death of us. I'm well known here in the row. What do you mean? Yes, it would be safer for us to stay in another city. We haven't left the row because traveling to another city undetected involves making it through the true wilds, far from the main patrolled roads, alive, which simply doesn't happen. As wild as it may feel out near the shack cottage, apologies, you've made it clear how you feel about that word. Hush. Be still. Hush. All right. They're gone. It's dark, and with this haze storm, almost everyone would avoid leaving their homes unless absolutely necessary. Which means that if you are unfortunate enough to bump into another living soul out on the streets, they aren't likely to have good intentions. Some like to take advantage of the empty streets and the cover of the haze to get away with what they ordinarily could not. Much like we are doing, yes. However, we're also quite large targets for anyone with nefarious intentions. Only 2 of us. We appear to be unarmed, traveling with an extra asphalter packed with supplies. It'd be fair for them to assume we are oblivious and naive merchants, wandering the streets without a guard. Or perhaps a pair of incredibly stupid nobles. Anyway, what was I saying? Right. As wild and dangerous as it is out at the cottage, it is still within the city walls. It's in the outermost areas, but still, it does have that slight bit of protection. Outside the walls, in the true wilds, beyond the perimeter of the main roads patrols, most don't last more than a few days. If the wildlife doesn't get you, the weather will. If somehow you manage to survive that, there's always the chance of running into Vyra. And, well, if you aren't lucky enough to find him in a good mood, you can assume your death will not be pleasant. So no, we can't just go to another city. I believe the better question would be, what is Viral? Of all the gods, both old and new, he's the only one to physically walk the land with us. And whether stumbling upon him is a death sentence or not depends entirely on his mood. His moods are notoriously fickle. He's one of the new gods, his domains being sickness, injury, pain, but also health. He maintains our flames, I suppose you could say, feeds them, or douses them. Not one you want to meet, no. Some say he's, well, best not to dwell on that. We're here. Look up, Viserva. It's even more extraordinary without the gloom of the haze obscuring it. The Temple of Steva. It's been many years since I've seen it. I thought, at night, and with the haze storm, there won't be anyone around. This might be my only chance to show you some of the beauty of my world. Would you like to see it with me? Careful. Here. There. They should keep these two from wandering off. It'd be a long walk if we lost them. Follow me then. I have so much to show you. Wait here. It's clear. Everyone's gone. Come with me. Here, let me. There. Easier to see now. Beautiful. There are dozens of sharp, colorful panes of glass surrounding each flame. They reflect the light in all directions, causing the glow you see now. I'll never tire of it. No, we don't need to worry about anyone seeing this from outside. I can't speak for all of Steva's temples, but ours has no windows. It's to prevent the elements from damaging the more delicate ancient texts we keep here. It smells the same as I remember. The papers, the ink, The the musty old books, the oil used to feed the flames. I'm getting sentimental. I apologize. Thank you, but I brought you here to show you the better side of my world, not wax nostalgic. Every stone used to build this temple was individually carved, and each tells a story, a truth of this world. I mean that literally. Look closely and you'll see. The stories told in each of these carvings are meticulously maintained by the servants of Steva to preserve our history. This temple is the oldest building in the row, possibly one of the oldest in the world, considering that Steva was the first of the gods to make meaningful, direct contact with us. She birthed her daughters, the gods of the arts and language, for the sole purpose of spreading and sharing the knowledge she had gained over the span of her existence. In return, we've worshipped her ever since. I know you didn't come here for a history lesson. I promise there are much more exciting things to be found within this temple. That is Steva, or at least our interpretation of her. This sculpture has been in this temple for centuries. Some even say it has always been here, and the temple was built around it to protect and honor her gifts. It is imposing, a towering work of art, stone and cold, and Dion was afraid of it when we were children. I always wondered if that was why he refused to come here with me. Yes, I agree. She's beautiful. As ridiculous as it sounds, I often fantasized about her being my mother. When I would sneak out of the Dervan's manor to visit the temple on dark nights, I rarely saw my own mother, or really any of my relatives, after I was old enough to take on the role of Dion's companion. So, like a child, I played pretend, sitting alone under this enormous sculpture. Somehow, I had never felt warmer, watching the lights flicker off the smooth stone, bending at the curves and flickering off of the angles. I felt at peace. And here I said I wasn't going to wax nostalgic anymore. Something about this place just brings it out of me. I am more than capable of experiencing a full range of emotions, yes. These are our history. I'm aware that I said I wouldn't force a history lesson on you, but you for indulging me, Viserva. It's not often I can speak about these things. These artworks are made of highly durable colored glass, and the technique used to make them has been passed down to artisans deemed worthy and skilled enough for millennia. As far as I'm aware, there is only one such artisan currently alive, and her skills are incredible. I've only seen her working once when I was young. The intense heat of the flames, the crackle of the glass as she shattered and reformed it. Anyway, each of these enormous works of art tells a story, a battle, a plague, a righteous leader bringing peace, and more war to follow after their death. But the ones I love most, that I've always found most fascinating, are these. The stories of the gods, the old gods with their astounding power, and the new gods who were born from their elders to carry out their will, only to become gods themselves. They are beautiful. A great amount of care went into creating these over hundreds of years, and an equal amount of care is given to preserve and maintain them. The old gods in this wing are Steva, god of wisdom, Servasa, the god of both love and hatred, Fez, she is the patron of the trials that we all must face to earn our adulthood. She's the god of battle, revenge, war, and childhood survival. Many of our gods are multifaceted. There are none that are purely good or purely evil. They just are. These are our most storied gods, Searchum and Dans, the light and the dark. Searchum they are the god of the flame, the inner flame, life. They created us, gave us warmth, gave us lives to live. And Dans, the god of darkness, death. She follows us always. Where there is flame, a shadow must also be cast, and in that shadow she waits and watches over us. No, not even these gods are purely good or evil. I can see where you would think that. Think of life as a selfless gift and death as a specter, a predator waiting to pounce. But have I bored you yet? We can move on if you'd like. Alright. Well, originally there were only the old gods in our reality. We had not yet been given life, and existence was entirely their domain. Not even the new gods existed yet. Searchum had grown dissatisfied. They wanted more. None of the other gods treated them as an equal, except for one, Dans. But Searchum wanted more, so they used their power to create us. The dullness. They gave us the flame, breathed life into us, and in doing so ensured that they would always be worshipped and treated with reverence. Dance, their lover, was furious. She said it was cruel to force such fragile life to exist where none was meant to be, and that they had created us out of malice for the other gods, rather than out of love or care for us. Dance then declared that she would forever follow Sarkham's creations, extinguishing our flames and freeing us of the burden of life in this world, always the shadow behind the flame. They've been in constant battle ever since. Not the happiest creation story, I'll admit. Like I said, Viserva, neither good nor evil, everything in balance. They simply are. This wing contains the new gods, those that were born after Sarkham and Dance's eternal battle began. First is Viral. I mentioned him earlier. He is the son of Dance. It is said that her pain and anguish was so immense after Sarkham's betrayal that she removed those emotions from herself, clearing her mind, and in the process, birthing Viral, god of illness, injury, and health. Next there are Oza and Canis, twin daughters of Steva, born from Steva's desire to share her knowledge with us. Oza, god of language, both written and spoken, and Canis, god of music and performances, the arts. Meritoun, he is the god of the hunt, feasts, and the vast barren lands of the wilds. He is the patron of travel, so it's considered wise to ask for his favor before traveling between cities. He was born from the aftermath of fells burning the land in a fit of rage, life from the ashes, so to speak. And lastly, Rayan. They are the god of lust, fertility, and social prowess, the only god to be born as a result of a coupling between Fels and Servasa. It's believed it was a rather explosive affair, more hatred than love. Right. Those are the garments worn by servants of Steva. These particular ones are only worn during certain festivals and events, though. No, I've never worn them, and I can't say they would suit me either. It would likely be comical to see me wear them as I am now. A bit too flimsy, ornate for me. Maybe someday you'll see me in them, Viserva, although I believe they would suit you much more. Oh. You need to hide. Get down. Crouch behind the statue. Do not come out until I say, alright? Be as silent